Cheese. Say hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey guys.
Okay.
So, my name is Nautica, and this is going to be my labor and delivery story. And the reason why I'm doing this story is is because assistant, she looked at me and she was just like, "Oh, like, are you okay?" And I was just like, "No, I'm in labor and I just had a really bad contraction." She was just like, "Okay, well, how far apart are your contractions?" And I told her, and she was like, "Oh, you need to call your doctor." And I was just like, "No, I think I'm gonna be okay. Like, I want to wait until they're closer apart." And she was just like, "No, once your contractions are like 10 to 15 minutes apart, like, you should really call your doctor." And I'm thinking I have to wait until they were like 2 to 3 minutes apart. But she was just like, "No, it's sooner than that, and whatever." So I called, and he was just like, "Yeah, you could come in if you feel like you need to." So I went in with my mom, and my contractions weren't that bad. When I got there, for some reason they weren't that bad. And I remember the nurse that checked me, her and like a resident nurse, they both checked me, which I absolutely hated. They made me sit on my knuckles like this, like, but underneath my back, and just to like raise up my uterus. And they both checked me. I felt so violated, I'm not even gonna lie. And I was at a 1. Yeah, I was at a 1, and they was just like, "Oh no, like, it's not time." They was like, "Maybe you're just dehydrated right now," whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, "No, I'm not dehydrated. It's been 3 days past my due date, so he's coming." But nevertheless, they sent me home. And it's like, as soon as I got home, like, I don't know why, but as soon as I got home, it was just like contractions were like 10 times worse. Like, it took me legit like 5 minutes just to get to the door. Like, it was that bad. Then I went into the shower because me and my mom, we both knew that we were going to go right back out. We already knew. And I got in the shower, and that was just honestly the best thing for me. Like, honestly, that shower, like the hot water on my back, it was everything. Like, I felt nothing. Like, I was so pain free. I was so relaxed. Like, I was okay. Like, I was good in that shower. Like, I was good. And after I got the shower, my mom had made, I will never forget, mussels and shrimp. She made mussels and shrimp with a lot of butter and a lot of garlic. And I was going to town, even in like during my contractions, all the pause and all that, but I was still like just tearing it up because seafood is my favorite food, and I could never turn down no seafood, labor or not. But yeah, I was eating, and I'm slowing down, and mom was just like, "Yeah, like, it's time for us to go." She was just like, "Just call your doctors and let them know, like, it's serious, it's time." So I called, and he was just like, "Are you sure?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I'm sure." So we went in, and I got checked again by 2 different nurses, and they both said, "Okay, it's time, you're at a 4." So I don't know about any other hospitals, but the hospital that I went to here in Connecticut, they take you at a 4. 4 centimeters, that is. So went to the hospital room. I'm texting my boyfriend, and he worked third shift, so he was just up, and he was just like, "Should I come right now or not?" And I was just like, "Yeah, you can come if you want to." So he was like, "All right." And I remember they came in and checked me like an hour later. My boyfriend still wasn't there. He had went home to get his mom, and they had checked me again. And I said, I don't know why I said it, but I said, if I'm a 6, or when I get to a 6, I want the epidural. I don't know why, but I want the epidural at 6 centimeters. I can't even tell you why to this day, but I wanted it then. So they was like, okay. They checked me, and I was at a 6. I was like, oh, all right, that was kind of fast. I went from a 4 to a 6. So the nurse, who was very snappy, she was not a good nurse. The nurse that had that night, she was not good at all. She was just like, "Well, do you want the epidural?" My mom was like, "Well, just wait until your boyfriend get here." And then the nurse looked at my mom, and she was just like, "Well, it's what she wants. What do you want to do?" And I'm just like, So get the epidural. Like, you know, because at that, like, you're vulnerable, like, you're in pain, like, you don't want to be in pain anymore. So I got it, which was not pleasant at all because I didn't like needles at all. I don't know how I even got through that pregnancy, because if you're pregnant, you know, you gonna get a lot of needles in you because you're gonna get a lot of blood drawn and things like that. And so I got through it though. It was painful, but I got through it. And I remember the anesthesiologist was like, you're gonna feel your legs get warm. And if your legs get warm, that means it's working. And only my left leg got warm. And he was just like, it's if you shift in the bed or whatever, the medicine will like proportion throughout your legs and your whole lower body. So I was like, okay. And then he left. And I was still feeling the contraction on my right side, but I couldn't feel it on my left side. And then I remember the nurse came in like an hour later and they checked me again, and I was still at a 6. She was like, oh, it's time to get to pitocin. And pitocin is basically, it's unnatural contractions. It makes you contract. And honestly, that was the worst pain I ever had in my life. The absolute worst. Because now you have something that's making you contract. That's not natural at all. And it was just, I was so stressed. I was so tired. I was in so much pain. Like, I cried so much. Like, I cried for hours, nonstop. They kept asking me, like, do you want us to try and, do your epidural again? Since it failed on my right side, because I felt everything on my right side. And I was just like, no, I don't want to go through that again. Like, just, fix it. Like, try, like, move it or something like that. So she tried to move it. This was a new anesthesiologist. So she tried to move it. And she was like, okay, well, I'll come back in an hour if it don't work. I'm still just, like, bawling my eyes out. Like, I honestly just wanted to die. Like, it hurted so bad. And because I wasn't really progressing, they were upping it. Like, they just kept upping it, like, every hour, every 2 hours, just upping it. And it just got worse and worse and worse. And it was just... Honestly, that would probably be my one advice I would ever give to anyone. If you can go as natural as you can, and you see that you're progressing really well, try to go as natural as you can. And if when you get to that point where you just can't take it anymore, or you get to, like, I don't know, about 8 or 9, then get the epidural. Because honestly, that epidural slowed me down. I was progressing so well by myself. I don't know why I got it, but I should have waited. I really did, because it was so bad. Like, it was so bad. My sheets had snots all over it, tears everywhere. I remember I was squeezing my boyfriend's mom's breasts. I remember that clearly. I was squeezing them. I was in so much pain. I remember, because I was in the hospital from like 8 at night. I went at like 8 at night, and this was like early in the morning. I remember my breath was like kicking so bad. I'm not even gonna lie, my breath was kicking, and I'm holding his mom by her neck. I'm holding her by her neck, and I'm just crying and heaving, and I could smell my own breath. So I knew she was feeling it, but she just took it like a champ. Like, she just took everything I was giving her. Like, I was giving them hell. I'm not even gonna lie. And then finally it was like, okay, well, like, are you sure you don't want to, like, just take it out and do it again? I was just like, you know what, just do it. Just do it. I don't care. So they did it again, and oh my God, I was so happy. I was so happy. Like, I was so happy. I didn't feel anything. Like, you felt like a little pressure. I'm not going to say that you feel nothing. You still feel something. You still feel pressure, but it's nothing, like, compared to, like, feeling those contractions. But, I think I got a little sleep. Not much, though. I remember closing my eyes and opening them, but I don't think I got much sleep because I remember I was very, very tired. Like, I was exhausted. And I'm pretty sure my boyfriend was exhausted because he came straight from work to the hospital. Pretty sure his mom was exhausted. Everybody was up all night. And Yeah, I remember around 1, they came and checked me. They were continuing to check me throughout this point, but I remember around 1, they came and checked me, and I farted. I farted when my doctor was checking me, and I was at a 9. I was so happy, but I was so nervous. Like, oh my God, is it gonna be worse when I push? And my nurse, I had a new nurse, and she was so nice, like honestly an angel, like just God sent, like so nice. I remember she had told my mom, my boyfriend's mom, my boyfriend, and my aunt to all go and, you know, get some food. She was just like, you guys gotta be energized, you know, to help her out. We don't need you guys passing out or anything like that. And so they all went and ate. And I remember I had caught a slight fever, so I had to I had to eat popsicles and ice, and she put a cold rag on my head. And then after that, I just felt pressure, like a tremendous amount of pressure. And I was just like, yeah, it's time. And they were just like, well, if you feel like you need to push, let's push. So I pushed. I was pushing, and he was coming out. He took no time to come out. And I remember they was telling me, you know, stop pushing, but I wasn't pushing. He was coming out by himself. Like, he was pushing by himself. And they were just like, no, don't push. But he was doing all the work. Gravity was doing all the work. And he came. He cried. They put him on my chest. People usually say, you know, once they do that, like, it's love at first sight. It honestly wasn't that way for me. Like, they put him on my chest, and we had skin to skin, and I'm just looking at him, and my very, very first instinct was just to pat his butt to calm him down. I don't know why, but that was my very, very first instinct. So I was just patting his butt, just looking at him and checking him out and making sure he was okay. And he was so cute, honest to God. Like, he was so cute in my opinion. I don't think babies, when they first come out, they're cute, but he was just like an angel looking when he came out. And I remember looking over, my mom and my boyfriend's mom were crying and hugging each other, and I had a 2nd-degree tear, so they were like stitching me up down there, and that kind of hurted. I felt that. And he was 7 pounds. I want to say 7 pounds and 12 ounces, and I had him at 1:30 p.m. And I honestly would go through that all over again just to have that experience. Like, I really would go through it all over again. It was an experience. It was just an experience, a crazy one, but nevertheless, it was beautiful. And I honestly would go through it all over again, just, you know, to see his face and smell him, because he smells so good. He honestly smells so good. I don't know what was in me or whatever in that sack that they're in, but it smelled good to me. I don't know why, but he smelled good when he came out. So I don't know, my insides must smell good. But yeah, that's how Noah came about, and that's how my labor went. So if you guys have any comments, you can like, you can subscribe, and we'll continue to keep this rolling, you know? Keep this YouTube going. Any suggestions on any videos?